Here we are in the beautiful village of Waddington, outside the Lower Buck. The Lower Buck has a most unusual story, the story of a very, very brave gentleman called William Southworth. Let's go inside and hear the whole story. Welcome to the Lower Buck. The Lower Buck is one of the oldest public houses here in the Ribble Valley. Now then, way back in 1974, the boundary changes took place, and what was Yorkshire was handed to Lancashire on a plate. And I'm told there's nothing more painful for a Yorkshireman than to lose his or her status, and that's what happened way back in 74. The Buck Inn, of course, dates back many, many centuries. I understand the building was built around 1752. Over that period of time, of course, many, many villagers have had social events here, and there are many stories and legends associated with it. But the Lower Buck has a ghost, the ghost of a very, very brave gentleman, innkeeper William Southworth. Now, William Southworth was the innkeeper here, and he kept a good house. He was a man of very, very good morals. Beautiful May day in 1833, he left the Lower Buck, walked across the other side of Waddington village to the local butcher, run by a chap called Mr. Thomas Crowther. Now, William was horrified on entering the butcher's shop to see Thomas Crowther actually assaulting his wife. In fact, beating her up quite badly. Southworth was disgusted by this attitude and immediately intervened. At the end of that evening, he had no idea, but a terrible confrontation was going to take place in the village itself. Crowther had a very, very good drink, and in an alcohol-fueled temper, he made his way straight to the Lower Buck. There he met Southworth. "I believe you've been spreading rumours about me attacking my wife." "No, I haven't. I just intervened, that's all," shouted Southworth. Within minutes, these two men were grappling. A fight took place. All of a sudden, Southworth was getting the upper hand, where Crowther reached into his jacket and pulled out a butcher's knife. He repeatedly stabbed Southworth in the heart, and the poor man sadly bled to death by the village stream. After Crowther committed this terrible offence, he tried to escape. But he was apprehended by 3 villagers and brought back into the village of Waddington. There, he was taken straight to the home of Police Constable Pinder, the local village bobby. Police Constable Pinder then had the duty to formally arrest him. He was detained overnight, and then the following day the pair of them, PC Pinder and Crowther, made their way to the city of York. There he was paraded in front of the York City magistrates in the courts there. In the city of York, the magistrates found him guilty, not of murder, but of manslaughter. They had no alternative but to deport him to Australia. The following day, he was sent down to the City of London for embarkation for the colonies. He was never ever to see the beautiful village of Waddington ever again. William Southworth, of course, was looked on as a real hero. He was obviously a very, very brave man. They say he loved the Lower Buck so much he couldn't bear to leave it. His ghost has been seen here on many, many occasions. Let's now have a really, really good look at this gorgeous old Ribble Valley Inn. Well, here we are in the snug bar. Now, this is Jenny. Jenny's worked here for over 7 years, and quite recently she's spent a night here to raise money for the Northwest Air Ambulance. Now, Jenny, you raised some money for the Northwest Air Ambulance by staying here with just 2 other people?
There was 5 of us all.
5 altogether. And you knew the building was haunted?
Yeah.
And I believe you took some amazing photographs that night.
We got 2 really good ones, yeah.
Absolutely amazing. What was the atmosphere like, Jenny?
It was really quite warm at first, but then suddenly we went freezing cold, as though the temperature really dropped.
And that's when you took some photographs, or was it someone else?
No, somebody else did.
Right, and we got those photographs, of course, to show you.
Yeah. Yeah, well, basically, we closed the pub up here at around 12:30. I decided to go for a walk around the village because that gives it a chance to settle down. So we had a walk around the village, came back about 1 o'clock, and it was quite strange, you know, to come back
Right.
in. One of the girls thought she saw somebody just about here, so they took a picture and there is a man there.
My goodness.
We did another seance down there, and I went really cold all of a sudden, and when they took a picture there's something next to me there which you can also see.
That's amazing. And these pictures actually got into the local press, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
And of course we have them on record here as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you do that again?
Yeah, I would do. Yeah, I'd like to.
It must have been quite a frightening experience, I should imagine.
It was, yeah. But it was a good experience as well.
Yeah. I personally feel that Crowther was a bit of a nasty character, really, but there's no two ways about it. William Southworth, very brave guy, and he must have loved this building very much, I reckon.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It was his home, I think.
Well, we're now joined by Mr. Andrew Warburton, the present landlord of the Lower Buck. Andrew, it's absolutely lovely to see you.
And you, Sam.
The Lower Buck has a fabulous reputation for winning award after award for its quality beers.
Absolutely, yes.
It must be great working here, and it must be great having such a fabulous public house, but what makes the Lower Buck so unique compared to many other pubs in the United Kingdom?
Well, we're one of the oldest pubs in the Ribble Valley. We've been here, the pub's been here for over 250 years. A lot of history in the pub, which obviously you well know about. It's a busy traditional local pub with villagers and tourists alike. Obviously we have a great range of cask ales.
Excellent range of cask ales, and the campaign for real ale have awarded many awards, haven't they? Andrew, I know the Lower Buck has won awards for the Good Beer Guide, but also you've had awards for your excellent meals here.
Yes, we're in the Good Pub Guide as well, and have been a main entry for the last 5 years, which I'm very proud about, because that's sort of voted by our customers. It's not a guide you can pay to get into.
Yeah, the times I've been here, you've always been full. Is it because it's such a quaint English public house, or do you really, really have top-notch everything here?
I think we like to think we have top-notch everything.
Yeah.
It's coupled with the fact that it's a 250-year-old country pub, quintessentially English.
Beautiful.
It's not changed. We've changed very little in 250 years, and I think people appreciate the comfiness of the building.
Yeah, I mean nowadays you see these old traditional pubs being gutted and some of them being closed down, but it's good to see this beautiful ancient public house still providing quality beers, quality meals, and quality smiles.
Absolutely, and I think people appreciate the fact that it hasn't been butchered over the years.
Yeah, it's still the same as it was all those years ago, and I think that's marvellous.
Yes.
Absolutely marvellous. Well, I think there's only one thing we can do now, and that is to have a toast to one of the most famous landlords that ever had the pleasure of looking after this gorgeous pub, the great William Southworth. Thank you ever so much.
Cheers, Simon.
That looks to be a really good quality ale.
Nice
Mr.
local.
William Southworth.
William Southworth.
Of course, the people of Waddington were very, very proud of William. There's no two ways about it, he was a hero. His greatest admirer, of course, was his wife. And she felt that his story was so brave, it deserved to be placed on his final resting place. And as we look to the grave here, we can see the whole story has been beautifully recorded by his beloved wife.